Which is why we're not using the difficult variant. You see, all of these objectives here, you've got all these different objectives, and then on the back they've just got hard mode. Usually I play Dead of Winter on hard mode, but we're gonna, because I don't know what to expect from Raxon, and because we're shooting this live, I don't want to set it up to be too difficult. Matthew hasn't played before, and you know, it's the only time you want it to be more difficult is if you're the betrayer. Well, I mean,
we don't know that yet.
You know,
so Matthew doesn't know that.
So what I'm saying is, if Matthew is the betrayer, he's going to be kicking himself, but otherwise he'll be fine. So finally, we've got the game is what PlateHack described as a crossroads game. They've actually only got 2 crossroad games in the series, Dead of Winter and Dead of Winter: The Long Night. But I'm sure that the way they describe the camp mechanic there is more intended to come out, but I don't know anything about that. Anyway,
a short day.
The crossroad cards are a deck of sort of short stories that come out, and a player whose turn it is not will hang on to the crossroad cards. And if a certain a certain condition comes up on a player's turn, the crossroad cards activate, and we get a short story. And then we get a choice. They're not always bad. Sometimes they're good. Sometimes there's a risk of reward, a risk and a reward potentially. Sometimes it's just bad stuff. But the crossroad cards can be, in the core set, they can be quite dark. In this set, apparently they're a bit more dark. And it actually comes with this packet here, which I haven't opened yet because I wanted to show it to you. But this is a set of crossroad cards you can add to the deck. And it says on the front, the contents of these 9 crossroad cards are of an adult and sometimes disturbing nature, and are intended to explore the darker side of humanity in much the same way horror movies do. Please take extreme caution and consider all of your players before using any or all of these cards. So, the reason I'm showing that to you is because I'm about to open this and shuffle it into our crossroads deck. We don't know, we haven't looked at this deck here, it's very thick. There's a lot of crossroad cards. Fewer than in the core set, but you know, you could always combine the sets if you're using multiple characters from the different sets and things like that. We're just using, like I said, we're just using the Long Night stuff for this playthrough. But there's a very real chance that none of these will ever come up in the game. There's also going to be the chance that one of them will. So if you have any concerns about what these cards might contain, like I said, we don't know all of these, so we're not going to know what these are, or we're not going to have any idea. But if you don't want to be exposed to this, then I suggest that you probably just don't watch these videos. There's probably a lot of other Long Night playthroughs. I'm sure you can find someone who's done a Long Night playthrough without these cards. Probably also someone who actually goes through what these are. But you know, like I said, we don't know. We're just going to shuffle them in without looking at them to sort of preserve some element of surprise. And if you have any concerns about that, you should probably just stop watching this now.
Basically, it says there it's the worst things they can think of. So we're imagining they're pretty bad.
So I've just opened that now, and here are the cards, and they're going right into this deck here. We're just going to shuffle this up.
Cool.
Okay.
I don't know. I understand actually that all of the cards are marked with this symbol at the bottom. Now I remember someone mentioning that. So if one does come up, actually that's a good point. They're all the cards are marked. So if a Crossroads card does come up, what we'll do is, if you do want to watch the playthrough, we'll give you a heads up when one of those is about to come. Okay. And what I'll do maybe even is have a bit of text come up on the screen and just say, if you want to avoid seeing what happens, skip ahead to this time code.
Yeah, that's probably
there we go. So you can, so you know, if you want to just guarantee you avoid it, don't watch the playthrough. But I will give you fair warning, actually, in the editing, if one does come up. So guys, just keep an eye out for that symbol.
Can I just?
Looks like that one on the bottom of the packet. Okay. That's going to be printed somewhere on the face of the card.
Right.
We'll just cut to this bit.
Yeah, or you know, I'll just leave it up there because you know we're shooting it live. Sometimes we make mistakes, as you will notice from our Galaxy Trucker playthrough.
I haven't watched that review yet, and I'm going to be watching it after this. So apparently, there's a mistake that I made that could basically have made.
Yeah, if you want to see probably the biggest mistake ever made on Ready Steady Play so far, go watch episode 16 of Galaxy Trucker.
I want to work my way along. I'm in the prologue at this minute. So.
I'm going to watch it and see just how badly I screwed up. And from what I've heard, it's pretty bad. So
well,
He won't tell me. That's how bad it is.
He wants the views. That's why he wants the views.
He won't tell me. So I've got to watch myself screw up on camera.
Don't worry, I've done stuff like that. So I was like, so what's this game like? No, watch it. Watch it.
To be fair, the last round we did on Galaxy Trucker I'm still happy with, so...
That's the symbol.
Okay. Oh, it's quite small.
It's very small, bottom right-hand corner.
Right.
Okay, so... yeah. So in this game, we're going to be going to these different locations. We're going to be searching for survivors. We're going to be trying to put them under our main objective there. We've also got these improvement cards, which are
very
over here on the top of the thing there. I don't know, Matthew, if you want to just... Did you shuffle those already, guys?
I shuffled it,
yes.
Why don't you flip over the top 4 of those and show them to our audience at home? These are a new module from The Long Night, and what these do is they allow us to build improvements. Did anyone actually look at the rules for building improvements?
Yes, basically it says on the card you need a certain amount of advancement tokens.
Yep.
So you get the advancement tokens by putting thing in. So where the junk card, it says junk or advancement. So you get them.
Okay, so we actually need to recover cards that allow us to advance.
Yes.
It's not just an action we can take.
I don't believe so.
So it's DVD player, fireplace.
Yeah, so this is bedding and a greenhouse. The greenhouse is the one.
Oh, thank God the greenhouse came up. I was just saying to Matthew at the top, I didn't look at all the improvement cards, but I did see the greenhouse, which I showed him as an example of them earlier, and I was like, that would be great. If we can get the greenhouse for this playthrough, because we're going to need so much food, that'll be hugely beneficial.
And also the bedding is also pretty good because it gives us more actions. And we can also remove despair tokens. And as you can imagine, in a post-apocalyptic nightmare, despair is a real thing.
Fireplace ain't too bad.
And just for back, the fireplace, as Matthew's just said, it's pretty good. We can remove frostbite from characters at the colony, which is a very good thing because frostbite is a wound that gives you more wounds. And the DVD player, if at least one helpless survivor token is at the colony, you can collectively spend 2 action dice and place 2 fuel cards into the waste pile without using their effect to raise morale by 1. So basically we can make them watch movies to be happy.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
The
No, the worst thing is when the only DVD you have is Day of the Dead.
Ollie, are you shuffling those again?
Yes.
I thought you just dealt the 4 out.
No, I just showed the 4 to the camera for the sake of doing. Were we supposed to keep those?
I thought we were keeping those ones.
DVD player, fireplace, greenhouse, bedding.
You said you already shuffled it.
I'd already shuffled it, but I figured you wanted it for something different. Okay.
No, I didn't want you to give the examples to them. I wanted you to flip them over and explain what they were.
Okay, fine. So
because I want that greenhouse, damn it.
This is how important the greenhouse is, that he's actually prepared to yell at me this much to put it back. So
put it back.
We'd put one of these at the time, and we need all the advancement tokens for them.
So only allowed one of them?
No, we can get one at a time.
Oh, one at a time.
So when you want an advancement, you pick one of them to get.
Well, I think greenhouse and fire.
I'll do greenhouse and bedding first.
What's the bedding do?
At the beginning of each round, all non-exile players may roll an extra action die or remove 1 despair token from a survivor they control.
So despairs are basically wounds that you can't heal through normal means. And each character in the game can take 3 wounds before they die.
Yeah.
Dying is bad, so let's try and avoid that.
But actions are good, so the more actions we have the earlier on, the more we can do and the more prepared we can be.
But with our rules, we started with a low morale as well here.
True.
We can put these over there by those cards. Those are just little tokens that represent the upgrades that we put in the colony once we built them.
Okay, so that's the turret, that's something else.
That's the fireplace.
I think that's a cooker.
That's the fireplace, wasn't it?
See if you can decode
that
them.
one. Yeah, that's cooker. Yeah, that's the DVD player.
Yep,
That's the
bedding.
greenhouse. So...
Oh, yeah, no, it's the fireplace.
So we also have to acquire food and things. We need to feed the colony every night. We also need to survive these crises that are going to be coming up. So there's going to be plenty to keep us busy. Now what I'm going to do is try to remember whether we get our secret objectives before or after we choose characters.
I think choose characters first, isn't it?
I think it's secret objectives first. Ooh. In fact, I'm pretty sure. I'm checking the original rule book because it doesn't matter. It's just the closest to hand. Yeah, so secret objectives first. So I've got these secret objective cards here, which I'll just quickly do another shuffle.
You can never shuffle too much in this game.
Right, you can never shuffle too much. Except actually, people get really superstitious about shuffling, and
Do
there's
they?
a lot of card players, LCG players, still tell you you've shuffled too much. Right. So what I'm going to do is 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
and then this is the Betrayer deck.
This is the Mike deck.
Okay.
The
Then
Mike
someone
deck.
else has got
Every game I've played with you where there was a betrayer, you end up being them at least once.
Well, I was the Betrayer only once in Dead of Winter out of 7 playthroughs. So here's the Betrayer card. There it is.
And you only
So
played
as you
once,
can
right?
see, we've got 4 cards and 3 players, and we're going to shuffle these up, and then we're going to deal them out. And so there's a chance there won't be any Betrayer, but there's a very good chance there will be a Betrayer. And so we'll just have to see
I'm
what
doing
happens.
the worst kind of shuffling ever, just so I can randomise it. So if I don't even know what I'm shuffling, no one else can.
Well, if you give it to me as well, I'll give it a quick shuffle. And now nobody knows what's going on.
Especially
And there's one for you,
Thank
there's
you.
one for Matthew, and here's one for me. And this one goes back in the box. We shan't see it. And everyone can check your secret objective.
Okay.
Okay, so that secret objective, that goes on the right-hand side of your player board.
Just read them out.
Oh, cool.
Yep. And now we're going to do survivors. I'm just, as usual, I've got to check the rules.
Rules checks are always good.
Especially for someone who doesn't know what they're playing, I'd like
Yeah,
to know
here we go.
and
Yeah.
that others do.
I mean, the nice thing about this game, and it is a very nice thing, is that we all get these player reference cards which basically tell you how each round is supposed to work out. So the player turns, the colony phase.
The colony
actions.
phase summary is especially useful, actually, for
Yeah.
this.
But also it says actions that require an action dice, which is we start with 3, and obviously each one of those is quite important. And then it says things that you don't need to roll dice for, which is also very good. So it's got like a mini summary in front of you all the time. Makes it a bit harder to get
Okay,
lost.
so everyone gets this is Ollie, Matthew, and me. So we all get 4
Oh,
and
cool.
choose 2.